Okay, we are live. Good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Phil Nightingale. I'm the general manager here at Mel Hambelton Ford. We have a great event happening here at the dealership today. I'm here with Officer Kimmery.
Yes.
Thanks for joining with us today.
Yeah, happy to be here.
And it's our Operation Cat Guard. And we did a press release here last week on it. And this is a crazy time right now where we're getting these catalytic converters stolen. And I know the numbers are just keep growing and growing and growing. And so that's why we're here today. You can come in on our service drive. You can see the line back. Of course, there's not a line in here now, but you can see it coming through here. We've already done about 40 of them.
Yes,
so
that's a good turnout so far.
Especially it's supposed to start right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so anyway, again, thanks for hanging out with us today. And if you want to get your catalytic converter etched and into the system, and so what it does is we put it in the air, we etch it, we then log that number into a database. And if that catalytic converter gets stolen, then we can kind of track it back there. And Officer Kimmery, my thing that bugs me more than anything, I know these guys are out there cutting these converters off, but what's really bugs me more than anything is the guys that are buying them. They know they're stolen.
Exactly. And right now we don't have any laws saying that we can, enforce any of that. So this program actually helps us out because if we catch somebody with one of these stickers on a catalytic converter in their possession, this is an opportunity for us to get a hold of the owner and see, hey, can you go check to see if it's stolen? And then we can at least charge them with possession of stolen property.
Yeah, so at least we're getting some direction. I agree with you, too. We don't have enough laws written in this. It's kind of like somebody stealing a car. We don't have enough laws written on that situation either because that happens to us some here. So I'm just excited we're getting some steps moving forward because we will get at times between 6 and 7 cars hit a night.
Right.
Here. And, we do our best to camera everything, but even the cameras can't really protect us as much as we need to.
Right. I mean, you could have people come in here from El Dorado stealing stuff. So we're, even if you have video of these, thieves, we have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
And even if we catch somebody, possessing them without any proof that they're stolen, once again, there's not a whole lot we can do about charging them.
Yeah, I get it too. So anyway, if you want to get your catalytic converter etched, we're here till 3 o'clock. Just come up to the service drive and pull inside. And I was just talking to a gentleman. He's got 3. He's already got 1 in here. He's got 2 more he's going to go home and bring. But he's been caught in the stealing. He's lost a converter already from that part. So it's really crazy what these thieves will do. I mean, they're doing it in broad daylight.
Yeah, it's like, like we just had a customer earlier say that, she said that her friend was at Cracker Barrel eating and they just stole it right out of the parking lot in broad daylight.
Broad daylight,
so, I mean, they have no shame because they know that right now we don't have any way of tracking. So, but now we do.
Got a way. Anyway, Josh is joining us now. Finally, Josh.
Yes.
We're flying around here. And,
very much so.
And we're getting a system down. I think on the service drive and making a smoother and easier transition and everything there too. Just often talking to Officer Kimmery here. There's really no laws out there yet, but now we're getting some ways of tracking these things. And like she said, they can catch somebody right now, but they can't do anything to them.
It's absolutely crazy the number of incidents that we've had here, just ourselves, but then also as being that person, you feel so helpless on that side of it, and I know you guys are fighting it everywhere.
Yes, I mean it's disheartening to us too because we want to help people, but there's just no way of tracking or anything. But until now, so this is great, and you guys have a well-oiled machine out here going. I mean, you have everything covered from the line to getting people checked in to getting the registration done on the stickers. This is perfect.
If you'd asked me that a little earlier this morning, I maybe would have had to have disagreed with you. But I was prepped and ready to go. I think they said the event was from 9 to 3 is kind of what I was prepping for, and so I had some extra staff coming in and stuff like that. But it was their Saturday morning. They were going to kind of use it to sleep in and get here. But everybody's here. We're wrapped up and ready to go, and I think we've got the system down for sure.
I mean, people are coming in and out of here very quickly, so you don't have to spend half the day here or anything. It's just come in, get it done, wait a few minutes to make sure it's adhered correctly, and you're off to the rest of your day.
Yeah, about 10 minutes, Josh. Right, once you get the car in the shop, it takes about 10 minutes to get them etched.
Honestly, as far as it really depends on the vehicle and where the converter's at. Some of these have under shields on them, and the converter's wrapped in a heat shield itself. And so it just really depends on each vehicle's kind of unique. But as far as the actual process of applying the sticker and etching it on there, very, very quick. It almost takes more time to register it through the web page than it does to actually perform the put the sticker on and etch it and everything else, you know.
I know a couple people came and asked if they needed an appointment, and no, you don't.
We were taking appointments just so we could kind of space everybody out so everybody didn't show up all at once, but you certainly do not have to have an appointment. We'll get you taken care of.
What do you think we've done so far? You got an idea?
I'm going to say we've probably done pretty close to 30 of them.
30?
Yeah,
Okay.
so far.
And our goal is to try to get 200, right?
Okay, so sticker wise, so we have, I want to say I had about 100 stickers, and then one of the officers showed up a little bit ago and had another book of them. So I'm going to say if we would have close to around 200 of them.
Yeah. So anyway, if you need to get your catalytic, save yourself some time, just drop by, let us go ahead and etch that converter up for you, save you a hassle, and hope it doesn't get stolen. But if it does get stolen, at least we got your number in that database, and then we just hope it gets taken to a reputable salvage yard that will guard that number and know what we're doing. And that's what Josh and we got on the air earlier. I was telling Officer Kimmery, I'm more disgruntled with the guys that are buying these things than the guys that are stealing them.
Yeah, especially if somebody's going to show up with literally a whole truckload of them or something. I mean, come on now, something's not right here.
Yeah, I don't know there's all these different metals that's inside these converters. I don't really know where that metal's going or what they're doing with that, why it's so high in demand or high dollar or what it is from that part, but that's got to be something.
There's like 3 or 4 different metals in there, and then basically they collect a whole bunch from here and drive them basically to Texas.
It's Texas, yeah.
And they're melting them down, and that's where the big money is when you have a big truckload full, they give you thousands of dollars. So
yeah, I heard one guy took a truckload somewhere and came back with $27,000.
Yes.
So my biggest thing with it is that the financial gain from that side of it individually is probably pretty small.
Yes.
But then what it takes to replace it, I mean, some of these things new, you can reach on a car, you could reach $1,500 pretty easy for a converter. And then you get into the diesels with the DEF systems and the particulate filters and stuff like that, and you could spend at least $6,000-$8,000 on an exhaust for a vehicle, and it's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, we didn't do a very good introduction today, so because me and Officer Kimmery got right into this program, but this is a call-in. Yes, it's our call-in show, 316-462-3673. And normally, Officer Kimmery, I usually have Josh out here. He's when the little music comes in and out and everything, but we just went live. We just took off and went. We just went live is what we did. So, but anyway, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, but if you want to talk about etching these converters or what's happening here today or questions about how to get your etched, give us a call, 316-462-3673. It comes right into the main line of the dealership. Tell them you're calling for the radio show. You'll patch us into you. And Josh, for each and every caller, they get a great price package for every caller coming. It's valued over $130.
Yeah, so we're going to send it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. While we're performing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on the vehicle. You'll also receive $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the big corner, as well as complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which is going to consist of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then a can of CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles.
All right, so let's get the phones ringing, 316-462-3673. And we're here today with the Wichita Police Department, and switch gears a little bit. We're raffling off that truck. Have you seen that blue truck we're raffling off?
I have.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyway, I think we're getting to the max sell of tickets already, and we still got another month to go.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The response to that has been huge. Last Friday, we did a Jeans Day for Wichita Police Foundation and stuff. So can't tell you how much we love our police department and how we're trying to back the blue. And one of the other officers is here. Did the commercial with us. We did with the truck right out front here of the store and everything else.
Sergeant Woodrow.
Yes, I couldn't remember her name real quick, but she's in the. I made her painful stand after when it's because I kept messing the lines up. But Lisa handed me the lines about two minutes before we went on the camera, so I memorized. No, so. But anyway, just a lot of things we're trying to do to back the blue and help you guys, and excited for that blue truck. For how many we're going to sell 5,000 tickets, and I think they've got over 4,000 sold, over like 4,200 sold already. So
yeah, I don't. Whoever wins that, I think, is going to be very, very proud of it for sure. I guess
it's a nice truck. So anyway, let's get the phones ringing. Anything you want to talk about today, but mainly let's talk about what's happening here with this etching these converters, and let's try to help catch these thieves. And the other thing is, I'd almost bet a lot of those thieves aren't even from around here.
We do have some local people, but they're selling them for so cheap, and unfortunately, it's because drug habits that they're doing this. But hopefully, this will help deter future problems with the stealing, because maybe they'll see the sticker and say, oh no, not this one, we'll just move to the next car. But I'm telling people, if you have a big truck or a Toyota Prius, those are the hot cars right now. So if you have one of those, it's best to get down here and get that sticker.
Something about the Prius, huh?
So that's what I was going to ask you, if there was like a certain model line or vehicle line.
We're noticing the Toyota Prius must have more precious metals. Yes, so if you have one of those or the big trucks, that's what they're looking for.
Well, I think the reason for the big trucks are so easy to get, because you can just slide right in and it's right there, very visible, very easy, nothing really around that truck, and they can just whack it real fast and go from that part. So Toyota Prius, that's kind of crazy. I wonder what's in that. That's
I don't that
being a hybrid. I don't know if that's what it is or whatever it's in that car.
Guessing they put a lot of emissions into that to help their cafe ratings just throughout, with it being with it being their, I guess, starship of efficiency for sure. But it's absolutely crazy. And then from the other side of it, I think too, just in your experience, the boldness of how these go missing in broad daylight.
Yeah.
I was hearing a story the other day of literally somebody went into Walmart and came out and had a louder car when they left than they did when they showed up.
Well, just one of your customers said her friend was at Cracker Barrel eating and came out and was gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
broad, the guts, here's is probably, 6-7 months ago, we actually had a guy back into our shop with his truck and try to steal one lane on our shop. So he had cased the place, came in and did something, but he backed in our back door. I mean, we got him on camera and everything. Of course, never can't find him or whatever either, but the boldness of them in broad daylight and stuff. And just like the other day, that was probably 6 months ago, we had a Super Duty. We saw to go into what we call our bullpen if we trade for him. And it wasn't even 30 minutes later, that truck's leaving. And we got on the camera and watched him. He took him maybe 2 minutes to get in that truck and gone in broad daylight. No keys in it, but he knew what he was doing to get in that certain model to break into it and steal it. So who knows? Maybe these Cadillac converter guys are the same guy stealing the cars.
It's probably all the same
group. Same group and everything else too. It's like here just a couple of weeks ago, we had a guy come in with a Kansas ID and try to get a car and try to take it from us, and then presented us with a fake check and everything else too. So there's so many different things going on in this world right now of being crazy that drives us all crazy, and I'm sure it drives you guys crazy too. But I guess you call that job security, right?
But it is frustrating for us because it feels like the more work we do, the little results we get. And I feel for the citizens, they're just so frustrated, and we are too. So we're all on the same page here. We all want this to stop.
Yeah, so. We do too. Go back to doing what's normal of protecting our citizens instead of trying to fight these guys that are doing all this different stuff. So anyway, today we're out live in front of the dealership. We're doing what's it called again, Josh? Cat Guard.
Yeah, Cat Guard.
Cat Guard.
Operation Cat Guard.
Operation Cat Guard. Several locations over Wichita doing this today.
I was going to say, do you know what all the locations are? I know they're doing it down at Kia down here as well, because I think you're the West Precinct, right? Is that okay? So you're between this dealership and that dealership. This is your territory, or
correct.
Your two
I know
locations.
that's the only two out west. I'm not sure about the other sites, but there's several in each bureau.
So is this your district you patrol in?
Well, I'm actually at like 21st and Mays, but
21st and Mays.
Yeah, we're always down here too. So
down here too and stuff. I got you. So, get in a little bit more of being a police officer and stuff, because it's just like everywhere. We need more police officers. We need more technicians. We need more salespeople, that kind of stuff too. But so how long have you been on the force?
Almost 20 years.
20 years.
Really?
Yes.
You must love your job, huh?
It's something new every day.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get. It's not boring. That's for sure.
So has it always been in a patrol car or?
Yes, always in a patrol car.
Yeah. And so 20 years all here in Wichita or not? Or
yes, I was out east side for about 3 years, and then I moved out west.
Moved out west. So I've probably seen you out west somewhere cruising around.
Oh, probably.
So let me ask you this. Is there a favorite part of Wichita?
Not really. I mean, it just depends on which area is, what kind of flavor of crime you get. So, I mean, you get a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So going back into you, so is this your patrol car we're standing beside, right?
Correct.
So is it all you do is when you're driving, are you radaring for people, or are you just physically watching for different things to happen?
Well,
See what I'm saying? I mean,
well, I'm in community policing, so I'm crime trend driven. So these catalytic converters, we do a lot of follow up. We contact victims, see if there's video, see if there's,
try to figure out some kind of a pattern.
Because most of these cases are called into our case desk, so an officer doesn't actually go out because there's so many. So we go in the back end and try to ask for video, if there's any witnesses, if all that stuff. So we do a lot of that, and then we drive around the neighborhoods and just kind of look.
Well, I bet you could find some people trying to steal these things during the day too.
Oh yeah, we catch people all the time in the act.
Do you?
Yes. So, and they're like, well,
it wasn't me.
Yeah. Well,
right. How many times have you heard that in 20 years?
Right. So it's just that these are property crimes.
Yeah.
So with the jails being full and COVID and all that stuff, they do get out quickly. So we're right back at it.
Yeah. So I guess that would be something as far as. Let's say you are a victim and your converter does get stolen. What's the process somebody would go through to report that, not report that? I mean, what do you suggest there?
So if you wake up in the morning and start your car and it's a little louder than normal, that's probably a good sign that it's probably taken. Yeah. And we get a lot of the U-Haul trucks, buses, like your daycare buses, vans, trucks, like the Prius. But, we always advise if you have video cameras, like your Ring doorbells or whatever, review that to see if you have any good footage. You can always call our case desk, which is 268-4221. Make the report over the phone so that way an officer can, tend to other emergencies. But it's the same report as what we would do. So they can do that over the phone. And then that way we have the report, and do report it, because if you don't report it, we don't know about it. So if we see a crime trend in a specific area or a specific vehicle, it helps us.
Yeah.
That makes sense, because I live over off of 37th and Ridge there, and we have, most of us have cameras on our house, and we had some ladies come through, and actually they got into my truck, took my dealership keys. First night I didn't lock my truck. Why I didn't, I don't know. But everybody was asking, do we make a police report? Should we call this in? And that's why I told them, I said, yes, you got to get it documented, even though probably they'll never catch anybody, because who knows where them two girls went. But we do have good footage. We have good face pictures of them and everything. And that's why I told them, yes, to report it, because they got to know what's happening. And in our situation, when we get 2 or 3 times, we get 6 or 7 of them stolen, and then we just don't get an officer, we get frustrated. But I get what you're saying. Right. There's just so many things going on and so many things happen that you just can't physically come out and investigate each individual one, but you can still take the data, then start exploring and try to do, like you said, your back end stuff to try to catch these guys and find them. But good luck on finding them.
Right. But I mean, if we have video of the same person over and over again, and, patrol officers will pull over a car full of stolen property and like, oh, wait, that's the same person as the video. Yep. Now we have some good information and we can do some charging.
And then I'm going to probably say this word wrong when I say this, but it's a camera that we're getting here at the dealership. A flock camera.
Yes.
Is that am I saying that right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, because I learned a little bit about that in one of the meetings we had with the Wichita auto dealers and the police department and with Casey Slaughter and stuff. And I guess you have several of them around town already, and have made several cases caught by that camera. So we're going to put maybe 2 of them out here probably just to help. So let's talk about that a little bit. Do you know a lot about that camera or anything? Good. That's because I think that's another thing that's going to help solve some crimes and slow this thing down. But you probably need to tell us if you know where we think we need one over here and one over there. I don't know where we all need to put them either. But
usually at your entrances and exits is the best place to have them, because basically it's a tag reader.
Yeah.
So if you report a vehicle stolen, we have that tag number and we enter into the system. So we have flock cameras all over the city. Yep. And when it does, like once you report that vehicle tag stolen, it puts an alert on that tag and it sends to all the computers that we have in our vehicles.
And as soon as it sees it,
it tells us what location. It takes a picture of the tag, partially of the car, not usually the driver, but it can say, at Central and Ridge, we had an alert at the stolen tag or stolen vehicle at this location. And if I'm sitting there,
God, you got them.
I got them. So
yeah. So do you have the cameras? They're statically mounted, but is there any cameras like that on the patrol cars that can do the same thing? I was thinking there was. Remember,
we do have some of those. Yeah. In each bureau, we have at least one vehicle that has it's a license plate reader system on the vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, but just because one vehicle has it, we can all log into the same program.
Still see that.
And we can all get the alerts on our vehicle.
That's what Casey was saying. How so much data is being collected all the time and putting in that database. And if you've got a red such and such stolen, he says you can just as much as get it red something stolen. He said they actually found the car after just a little bit of something on the decal on the back of the car. It wasn't even the tag.
Right.
It caught the car and caught the guy in the car and everything. So we got to get those more cameras we can get up, the more crimes we're going to solve. But also, I think it's going to slow a lot of people down when they know those cameras are running around here too.
Right.
So I don't know how long it takes to get those cameras set up, but I know we ordered 2 of them. Yep. So because we figured, like you said, one over here and then one over there. We didn't know if we need one on Kellogg Ram right out there too.
Yeah, I do know that like businesses and citizens can view some of the data. Obviously, there's privacy issues, but the police department receives all of it.
All of it. Yeah.
So don't think that just because you have one in your neighborhood that we can't see it. So
okay, let's go to another step because we have a lot of discussion on this in the dealership here. So we sell so many cars here, and years ago it used to be just switch tags. And then we've got the 60-day tags and all that kind of thing. And I'm under the impression right now today that we shouldn't switch tags. We should put 60-day tags on everything. A lot of people want to switch tags, but what happens there is, so let's say someone trades in a red truck and now they're getting a white truck and they hit that scanner and it's a whole different deal. What happens then?
Well, you have a certain timeline if it's your own tag, obviously, to switch that over.
Yeah.
That's up to you. But, obviously, if you have paperwork that says I just purchased this vehicle, 30 days ago, there's a leniency there.
Yeah.
Obviously, but
you would have to stop somebody at that point to figure that discrepancy out.
Right.
Yeah.
And, and we get a lot of that because usually the registration will show that it used to be on another car with the same name. So,
Sure.
We have ways to run all that.
Yeah, I got it. So that's why I still try and tell everybody, don't switch tags. Just put a 60-day on it, so that way it doesn't give you an instant to get pulled over. Sold a guy a car for his daughter. She was out east in Andover, and the cop pulled up behind her and saw the tag had been switched. For some reason, he ran the tag. It was a whole different car, so he pulled her over. She had the paperwork with her, but guess what she didn't have? Proof of insurance on her. So I don't know if that's a moving violation or it's a ticket or what she had to do
it's
there.
Just something. If you have no proof of insurance, if you have insurance, you just have to take it up to the city building and show it.
Show it, and then you got it. So anyway, it was kind of frustrating there. So that's why I got trying to just put a 60-day tag on everything.
It's probably it's better. And, we do have people that print illegal.
Oh, yeah, we've had
seen that too.
Well, I'm going to tell you something else we have people doing too. Is this has happened to us 3 times. We come up in our D tags. They've copied our D tags. And it's so you can't tell them apart, but we've got 3 of them that's happened to, and it's kind of died down now. It's right after the first year when the new tags come out that they duplicated them, and it never fails to duplicate tag. Guess what it's involved in? Because if we find it's in some kind of a crime or a stolen vehicle or hit and run or something like that too. But yeah, they're copying those tags, and we tried our. There's even a little squirrely line going up in about 2/3 on one side of the tag. They had that in there. The intentions. It was so amazing that someone could copy that tag.
If you think if they could apply that kind of genius to like
wouldn't you think
regular job, the success we would have. But
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that 100%. I wish that it would be that way, but yeah, the thieves we have, it drives me crazy the amount of time they would spend to do that just to get a D tag. I mean, to me, they could do other things with that real easy.
So what I've got to ask is, you've been doing this 20 years?
Yes.
Okay. Keep in mind, you're at a Ford dealership. In all your 20 years, what's your favorite patrol car?
Actually,
no, I'm just messing
I
with
know.
you on the Ford dealership.
Actually, I just got this car not too long ago, and I don't actually. I this is one of my favorites.
Really?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, because you've got what's all out there. There's a Charger.
Yeah.
The Durango.
I did like the Chevy Impalas too, because they were front wheel drive and they are a lot easier to drive in the snow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that too.
But as far as room wise, yeah, definitely in an SUV.
Okay, so room wise, there's no room in these cars. It doesn't matter what make or model.
There's not just because of all the equipment you have in there,
there's
right?
Too much equipment, the cage and everything else. We have an officer that's 6'9" and he barely fits in anything. So
yeah, it's kind of a long time ago story, but when I was working in Salina. It was a Pontiac Bonnevilles were the police cars. And I was with the Pontiac store, so I always got to work on those cars. And every time I take them on a test ride, it was so funny to watch people be driving down the road and all you see me hit their brakes, and different things and stuff. But it was fun to go take those things on for a road test and stuff all the time from that part. But
just to see how people would react. Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, so you just got this one, huh? This police car?
Well, it's old.
It's old,
but it's new to me.
It's new to you.
Yes.
So I was a kind of question. I wonder how long do they run the police cars?
Well, I think we go to 150,000 miles.
150.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
But we do obviously scheduled maintenance.
Yeah,
all
sure.
The time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the maintenance that you guys have to do on those things, I'm sure is crazy.
I mean,
from
we
that
do
side
drive
of
them
it.
into the ground.
Well, and the other
So-
thing, what I think about when I think of that is they drive them 150,000 miles, but a lot of idle time.
Yes.
You know, so that 150,000 miles,
It's probably 300,000.
engine time is,
Yeah.
you know, at least double that with as much idle time as you guys probably
Yes.
have.
I mean, we
with
do a lot of paperwork, so we do have to
Sure.
sit and type.
Sure.
We
Yeah.
need the lights and all that stuff. So yeah, we're not going to sit without air conditioning.
Well,
that's for sure.
especially air conditioning, or even in the winter when it's really cold outside, you know, you gotta have heat to do what you need to do for sure.
So anyway, so how long of a shift do you run at a time?
We do 10-hour shifts.
10 hours, really?
We have 4 different shifts, and we all run 10 hours.
10 hours. That's great. I would have thought it would be shorter than that, but
Well,
you know.
we have 4 days on, 3 days off.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so we do
that's
have
a great.
3-day weekends.
Somebody has that scheduled down a quick lane, don't
Yeah.
we? We run a 4 on, 3 off. So that rotates in for Sundays, holidays, everything, right?
Yes.
So you have a battle over fighting over those holidays.
Well, we don't because we're in a specialty unit, but patrol does. Yes.
I bet they do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hey, we're here outside the dealership this morning doing the Operation Cat Guard. So if you're looking to help protect your converters, it's getting stolen everywhere. Wish I could remember the numbers we announced at the press conference, but it was a staggering number of how many have been stolen already this year, and the pace we're on for how many compared to even last year. It's almost like quadrupled how many of these catalytic converters have been stolen. Like, officer, you've talked about here is there's no real laws yet that you can actually get in there and arrest somebody or do whatever. But this is our first step of getting somewhere to know that these converters have got a stamp on them, got an etch on them, and then it's just someone steals your converter. It's in a national database, gets turned into the impound yard, and it's hopefully we got a reputable place that will report it.
Right.
Well,
not even that. If we pull somebody over
and they
that
got
has
it.
them and they have it, that's even that's a possession charge. So
let's talk about that a minute. So let's say you get somebody and they've got one of those converters in their possession cut off. What happens to them? What can you do to them?
well, obviously we can't prove that they stole it, but they are in possession of the stolen property because we have the little sticker that tracks to say, that way we can call the owner and say, hey, are you missing this? Did you give them permission to take it?
Right.
And they're like, oh, I sure didn't. So that way, at least we can book them on the possession of stolen property. They go to jail, they get charged, and then obviously they have to go to court. But
Yeah. So what kind of a fine would they get? You know,
that
good
I don't
question.
know.
That's a good
It's a
question.
good question.
Can they go? Would they go to jail?
They do go to jail.
They do go to jail.
Uh-huh.
So, well, at least we know something is happening there a little bit. Hand that to him. He's looking for that.
Yeah, but before something like this, if we had a guy with a backpack full of 10, we had no way to track down the owner, and there was
No way to know
who
whose was what or
we
whatever.
couldn't, charge him with anything because it's not against the law and to just be in possession of catalytic converters. Even though
Yeah.
we know they're stolen, we just can't prove it.
Well, that's what I think would be frustrating on your part. There's so many times you've got him caught and everything else like that, but then what you have to go through to actually get somebody in jail or actually arrest them or do whatever is frustrating too, I bet.
Yes. I mean, we know they're stolen, but
Yeah.
there's nothing we can do about it.
Nothing you can do about it. Yeah,
Right.
that's got to be the frustrating part of your job. But like you said, I would love to go ride with you sometime just to watch what you go through. I think it would be a blast to do. And again, not for 10 hours, but
Right. Not for 10 hours.
Not the paperwork part.
Yeah.
So it's like probably 5 minutes of
Yeah.
fun to 8 hours of
'cause
work,
that's
if I
usually
had
about
to
how it
guess,
goes.
right?
That's
Yeah.
5 minutes of fun and a lot of paperwork.
maybe what we should do, Josh, is put her in the passenger and let us drive. How about that?
I don't know about that.
I know, I'm kidding.
I don't fit very well on the passenger side with all the computer and stuff, so
That's what
it
I
might
tell
fit.
everybody that I get into a car with. I don't fit in the passenger side very well.
I hate to ride.
Yeah.
Hey, anyway, another thing we're doing, if you've heard, next Friday, we are doing Race the Police. If
Mhm.
you've heard about that, have you?
I heard something about it, but I was told I can't talk about it. So
Really?
Yes.
Wonder
Okay.
why. Well, we can talk about it, Josh.
Yes. I was told that it hasn't been announced yet, so I'm
It isn't. Well, because I guess maybe what that is, we were going to come down yesterday, at City Hall and do a press release then. We got the call, say it probably wasn't the best time to announce that yet. So we've got a spot out there on TV and radio already going, and it's on Facebook. So we can talk about it.
I mean, if it's your project, you just go right ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, next Friday out at Kansas International Drag, we're going to do Race the Police, and we're going to race the patrol cars. And how this come about is Nick Roberts, who runs our Who's Your Drag strip side of our racing division, who's in Denver at the drags up there. And for the last 18 years, they've done this event, and they do it weekly, where you come up and the police line up their police cars, and they come up and say, I want to race you, and you go out and have a challenge and race. So we're trying to get that started to try to slow down. In my opinion, this gets the street racing slowed down, even though I did it back then. A long time ago, I did it. I think that helps, and I think this is also going to help.
Has the statute of limitations run out on that?
Oh, yes.
A couple of times over.
Yeah. Yes. And the funny thing about it is the last time I started to go do that was when I was in Topeka, and I came back with my Trans Am, and another guy had a Camaro, and he was all fit to be trot and wanted to go race me. And so we headed out there, and someone tipped off the cops and come out there, and they stopped there, and we just sat and talked to them. They knew what we were going to do, but we never did get to race or win it either. But so anyway, it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be another better way to help get the community wrapped around the blue, just like this, giving away this truck and everything else we're doing here and stuff. So I think we can kind of coordinate your way. Anyway,
I just try not to step on anybody's yanking off their head.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it'll be fun next Friday. I wish I could be there, but I'm not. I think I'm going to be racing. I'm going to be dirt track racing somewhere. I can't remember where I'm at. I think I'm in Salina next Friday.
Yep.
From that part. So it's going to be fun, exciting. We'll see how many cars we get out there and how many races we can have. And I think it's just the first step of trying to get this into a weekly deal. Some of your detectives or officers or lieutenant, I can't get all those things named, call people in Denver, talked about it, what they did. They've done for 18 years, weekly deal, and I've had not one single incident yet.
Oh, good.
So that's good. So it's going to be fun next Friday. Just wish I could be there. I think, Josh, you're probably going to be there, aren't you?
Yep. Going to be out there.
Are you coming?
Probably not.
Probably not. You get in free.
We'll see.
We'll see. So another fun thing to do next Friday. Come out and race the police. It's going to be fun out there at Kansas International Dragway. From that part. So, Josh, we're not getting many callers, are we?
No, it seems like every time we have and don't take this the wrong way, but every time we have a guest on, people tend to just listen instead of call in with questions. So, but if you do have a question, give us a call. Let's talk about the cat guard, the installation that we're doing here today on this event. So,
yeah. So I bet this gentleman's wanting to know about getting his Cadillac converter taken care of.
I'm guessing so too. Yep.
So,
yep. I would guess so as well. So. Oh. Are you? Okay.
Why don't you help him, Josh? Go help him get his Cadillac converter taken care of. Another good friend here pulling in, huh?
Yeah.
And he's going to get his converter taken care of and get it etched. And I'm going to tell you, I bet on that rig there, that is a high dollar converter too.
I would probably guess so too.
Yeah. Is what I'll bet. What do you think, Josh? I bet that's a high dollar converter to replace on that one.
The other side of it is the vehicle's lifted up a little bit, and so
easy to get underneath.
It'd be very easy to get under there as well. So
anyway, this is real easy. Just like you saw, this gentleman just pulled up here, but we're going to redirect him into the service drive lane to pull inside there, and we'll get you in there and get your information, get you registered into the database, get it in the air. 10 minutes later, it's on the car.
Yep.
Depending on if any heat shields or whatever got to be removed or whatever. And
some of those, we all also applying the sticker to it, depending upon how far they drove from and how quick the converter is or how close the converter is to the engine, like the cool down temperature. When you go apply the sticker on it, if it's really hot, the sticker will just shrink up really fast.
So it does have some cool down. I didn't think it did.
It depends on how quick you are on getting it on there. If you're willing to take a 3rd-degree burn over the deal, you can get on there pretty quick. But nobody has to tell you to let it go. So
no, it doesn't. You're not going to look at it very long, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, 316-462-3673. Let's call in the phone here. Let's talk about these etching the Cadillac converters and protecting us and getting these thieves caught that are stealing them, and then get these salvage yards caught that are buying them, and stop this situation. Because I don't know, Josh, what are you thinking? You have cars pulling here every week getting with converters gone, right?
Yeah. And it always, especially, vehicles that have a tendency to sit, whether that's commercial vehicles or church buses or, it just always seems like vehicles like that are prime candidates of it for sure.
Especially you have a business where you have several of those kind of vehicles out overnight as well.
Yep.
If you have a group of like 5 different, buses, that's an easy target. So.
Just to go through and get them. And then, the other side of it, we have just random customers that have problems too, that come in and have had their converter stolen. So it's not really, that's one thing, is not unique to something specific. It's just very random.
Yes,
from that side.
So anyway, lines build back up again. Cars lined up here to, I guess, kind of got a glare on that camera, Josh, I think, but that's hopefully everybody can see what's going on. But anyway, just come on in here till 3 o'clock to get your etching done. And, another thing we should talk about too, Josh, after 3 o'clock today, say someone couldn't get here today, they can always call us and do that. But then after today, after we use those 200 up, then we have to start charging. Is that correct?
Yep.
Because the Wichita auto dealers went in and bought
the kits that we're using today.
Yeah, I can't remember how many we would have bought.
I'm going to say we're probably around 2,000 of them would be my guess. If you've got
that's probably
10,
right.
10 dealers that are
probably 2,000 is what we bought. So what what they cost? I can't remember that.
So the kit itself, I think, is around $35 per kit on it. And so as far as installation of it, it's very simple to do.
Simple and easy.
It would just be really the cost of the kit that.
So I guess they can't get here today. I guess that's another thing. Let's say we don't use up the 200. I wonder if we can keep them and keep going with this down the week. Well, I think that's another question we'll have to answer from Casey. And
and so I've already looked at ordering some from the manufacturer as well.
Okay.
Kits wise, it's been a little tough to get. I think
we ordered these kits 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it took a while to get them then.
Yes.
Yeah, they said that I was on a list, but didn't really give me any infinitive answer
when you could get them
to when I would have them. So
yeah, because I know it was at least 2 months ago when we did the vote at the meeting with the auto dealers, and we all agreed to do it, and that was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So it took a while to get them. I knew that's what took so long for us to be able to announce it and then kick it off and everything else too. So anyway, hopefully we give all these 200 out, but if we don't, we can still do it on Monday if you couldn't get in here today or whatever. But very easy. Just come out here to the dealership, pull in. Looks got a few more customers pulling up to get their etching done in a converter and help get these thieves caught. So 316-462-3673. Officer Kimmery wants to take a question.
I'll take a question.
Will you?
I will take a question.
So
I might not have the answer, but I can get it for you.
You'll take a question? Gotcha.
Let's make it happen. So anyway, so we got a lot of things going on. We got the truck raffle, and that's going to happen September.
Yeah, I think it's the
30th.
end of September. I don't know if it's the very last day of September, but I think
it
it's
is
closer to the end of the month for sure. We had we had the hospice giveaway last night. I think that went very well. Gave an escape away
over at Hutch, yes,
for the Reno County Hospice. That was a very good event. I thought it went very well. And what I will say is there seems to be a theme with we give away 10 keys, and then people start out with the first key goes, then second key goes. Man, as a person that is responsible for the keys, when you get down to like the seventh person and it's not started yet, it's very nerve-wracking.
I know, please something.
Yeah. And the last two events, last night it was number 8 that started it, but the event before we had was the very last person got it. And it's you want to talk about in a crowd of a presence of a lot of different people, and I'm thinking, man, we are just going to get booed like crazy. This is not going to be good.
Well, Josh is the one in charge of making the keys, the one who works, the one that does
it. It would be your fault if there's no keys that work.
Yeah. So I get asked, why are you sweating so much?
And we double check and triple check and make sure they work. But
right.
There's always that luck of the draw that something would happen or whatever. But yeah, had a great event over there at Hutchinson last night at Prairie Dunes at the Hutchinson Reno County Hospice, and it's just great to give back to the organization that does so much. And much hate to say, we're all going to need it sometime or another. Much hate to say it. So great event last night, and of course today we're here. He and Josh, we got a caller coming in, so
I'll get them passed through.
See if it's
I think it's a question for you. I bet.
So anyway, come out to the dealership today. The line is lining up for everybody to get your catalytic converters etched up and get them safe and get it in that database. So if it does get stolen, we can track it and see where it's at and know that it's where you're at with your database on that and keep it up to date. And then hopefully we can keep the salvage yards honest with them too. But
and it's a good time to come down here because there's not a long line, so you'll get it in and out of here pretty quick.
Yep, very much so.
Okay, Josh, got Jeffrey coming on here in just a second. We'll see what his question is going to be. And of course, ready to go. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Hey, this etching thing you're talking about on Facebook Live, I'm sitting here watching it and stuff. How much does this program cost for us to do this today?
The first 200 today is zero. Cost you zero to get in, Jeff.
Do what?
Zero. The first 200 in line today costs zero. The Wichita Automobile Dealers Association went out and paid for.
I'm sorry, I can't hardly hear you.
Is it windy?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the wind here or what.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get this through.
I can hear Jeff very well.
Yeah, Jeff, it's $200, or not $200. The very first 200 people coming through are free, no charge for the converter etching.
Okay. I've been watching it since y'all were live. I never heard y'all say anything about it, so I was just kind of curious.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll go back through that again, Jeff, on Facebook Live since you can't hear us very
Alrighty.
well. And
Thank
maybe
you.
thank you. Anyway, so if Jeff's listening there on Facebook Live and all, yeah, the first 200 coming through the door today, as you look at the line now.
Yep.
So very cool. The first 200 is no charge. I'm going to guess by now we're probably in the 50th, probably by now is what I'm
I
going
would
to guess.
guess so. Yeah.
About
I would
50
guess
we've done
too.
so far. And so just get out here, get in line. One of our service advisors will get your information. We'll get you logged into the database, and we'll get it in the shop and get it in the air, get it etched up, and get your etching on there, and then you're on your way to go. So just come up and get in line here. And there's the gentleman. He's back with his second car. He's got 3, he said.
Yeah,
He's
and
gonna
we
come
had
in.
there was a couple of churches as well this morning that they had. One of them had 5 that they were
5
going to be
gonna
bringing down or come through. So
Very good.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is the way to go. So Jeff, I hope you heard that. Again, it's 0 charge for the first 200. That, of course, that's all we have today is 200 kits. Josh has got some more on order, and who knows how long we'll get those, but we'll keep you kind of updated when we get the other 2. How many you ordered?
So they had a bulk in there, and I think I ordered like another 100 kits of them. So I don't remember there was so much for this many and then so much for this many, and I think it was the 100 is kind of where that next price break was. And so
if you can't get one of the 200, it's going to be $35, give or take somewhere in there for the other ones there. But to get down here today, get it for free. We've got lots to go. We got 150 probably to go yet till, and we're here till 3 o'clock. And I'm going to say once we get a groove down, 15, 20 minutes, you're in and out and gone.
It really just depends on the vehicle and where the converter is and what we have to do to gain access to that. But yeah, I'm going to say, about that time would be about right. So,
okay. 316-462-3673. Hey, let's get the phones ringing. Jeff had a question, but let's see if we can get a question here for Officer Kimmer here to answer, see what kind of question you can get for her. She'd love to. She's ready to answer a question.
I'm
ready. So 316-462-3673. Let's get a question here. Let's go. We get that great prize pack. He's valued over $130 for each and every caller. And let's see what.
How about do you have like a get out of jail free card? Maybe
I don't
that
have
would
any of those.
spark a
I'm
caller. I don't know.
Fresh out of those.
No, okay, yeah, because I might be a caller then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I know, Josh. I probably need that too now.
I don't know about the get out of jail free card, but how about a speeding ticket?
Yeah.
Get out of a speeding ticket free deal. So
I don't speed, Josh.
oh, okay.
I don't speed.
You believe that, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a crazy world we're living in right now with all these things that are going on and stuff like that too. And it's crazy for I'm sure what's crazy what you're going through with all this stuff from that part. But yeah, I would love to go ride with you and just watch your day and have fun with it. And
Once COVID's over, we'll be opening up the ride-alongs again. So
Yeah.
Oh, you do? You did have ride-alongs,
Yes.
huh? Really? I didn't
So
know
what does
that.
it take to do for a person to do
you
that?
just have to come into the substation. You have to fill out personal information. Obviously, we run you, make sure there's no weird background, and then you have to sign a waiver. And then just let them know what days, what hours you'd like to ride, and then they'll let you know what day to come in and ride.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
it can be for 3 hours or a whole shift.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might have to do that. That'd be fun. What if they let us do any video of it?
Well, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, privacy issues.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe just ride along in the car, just the 2 of us or whatever. You could chit chat, but actually, when you're high pursuit after somebody, you're doing that, probably not.
Very much so. So
you can film it, then they could subpoena your phone for court.
Yeah.
So, that's up to you.
It's totally up to you and what you want to do and
Yeah.
how you want to approach it. So in your 20 years of doing this, what's probably the one piece of technology that you think has really helped you in your career?
Well, actually, I am in favor of the cameras.
Okay.
I love
yeah.
the cameras. I know a lot of people were anxious about them, but it's the best tool that we have, because if people say something or act a certain way, you can't say, well, I didn't do that because we have it on film.
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of officers were apprehensive at first, but man, we use them and we love it.
And that's what's on your right shoulder here, right?
Yes, it's right here.
So I could definitely see that being a huge benefit, in the heat of the battle or in certain situations, remembering what somebody said or even remembering what you said, I think is hard,
Oh, absolutely.
And then not to dock the court system or anything, but it could be several months down the road before something actually went into some type of trial, and to remember those details.
It's years.
Yeah.
Court,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy too.
And to remember those details, firsthand, I'm sure is very, very
Well, obviously we
frustrating.
write reports, but
Sure.
I mean, it's always better when you have video of somebody saying something specific or doing something specific, because I can describe it, but it's nothing like watching it.
Yeah.
So another question I got. So is that on 100% of the time?
Well, it cycles every 30 seconds unless I hit the button, which turns it on.
Okay.
So once I turn it on, it goes back 30 seconds, and then it's audio and video.
Audio and video.
Yeah.
So it records for 30 seconds, then loses that recording and
Yes.
replaces it with the next 30 seconds. So
Right. So basically, if I'm sitting at an intersection and I see a vehicle run a red light in front of me, and I tap my camera to turn it on, it goes back 30 seconds. So it has you coming
Gotcha.
into the intersection, not just
30-second delay.
after the fact.
Yeah.
So it does.
Okay, I got you now.
Well, very good.
Yes.
And then as far as the vehicle itself equipped with cameras, that's something as well, or?
We don't have cameras. It's on our person.
Oh, okay.
Just on yourself,
Mm-hmm.
wherever you're going, what you're doing, that kind of thing. That's cool. I love that 30-second deal. You
Yeah.
just got to tap that little box there and off it goes.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say that would be probably the best technology I'd have to say too. So
Well, obviously our radios, because that way we can communicate
Well,
with each other.
sure,
But
yeah.
obviously we've had those for decades now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the cameras are new, and I mean, this is my personal opinion. I actually appreciate them. So
yeah, I get it. So what about, can you tell us any one of your kind of some wildest stories of one of your arrests or anything, or can you talk about stuff like that? Or
there's just so many. It's
Yeah.
hard to so.
what about the other night getting caught that guy named Josh Prophet? Did you catch him?
So one of the things that I will say is being in this industry, in the automotive industry, and I'm sure it's kind of similar in that aspect, is that the shock of getting into something you think, man, I would never really have to deal with that, is kind of gone. Like when something happened, it's like, wow, really? So from that aspect of the shock of seeing something new, I'm sure is probably every day you've been doing it for 20 years, but could see something new tomorrow and just not be blown away by seeing something that you've never seen in 20 years.
About 5 years ago, I had a TV show ride with me for, kind of, like not cops, but something else.
Yeah.
So anyway, we, got in this Bigfoot chase and whatever, and arrested this guy, and it was crazy. And we got back in the car. And he's like, "Oh, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. That was so crazy." And I'm like,
your heart's just sitting there doing
and I'm
normal.
just like, "Are you ready for lunch?" And he's like, "Are you not excited?" I'm like, "This is a daily thing for us." So it's kind of worn its, excitability. I mean, obviously our blood gets pumping and everything else, but
sure.
We're so used to it, I suppose, that we're not all like amped up 5 hours later about it.
Yeah, because it's a normal everyday deal
It's like
for you.
Next.
Yeah, who's
call.
next?
Yeah.
Who's next? Yeah. Anyway, the line is forming still out here. So we're here live out in front of the dealership this morning with Officer Kimry from the Wichita Police Department, and we're here doing Operation Cat Guard. I don't know if you've heard about all the catalytic converters getting stolen. So the Wichita automobile dealers got together and bought 2,000, we're guessing, kits.
Yeah.
Distributed on over 9 locations here in Wichita today from 9 to 3. Basically, pull in here, we'll get your information, and then we'll get it in the air and do a little etching on the converter. Then we'll log that number and in your information into the database. If that converter gets stolen, we can track it. Or if the officer Officer Kimmy pulls somebody over and got the possession of that converter, we can track it and know that was a stolen converter. So very well. It's just, to me, it's a first step in probably many steps we got to go to stop this problem. So at least we're making some good headway of getting some direction going with the Wichita Police Department and help protect and help slow it down. I think some awareness has got to slow these guys down out there that are actually coming out here and stealing.
Not only that, you have access to the website via your
do you? Okay.
Tracking thing. So we looked at it kind of yesterday, and like if it's lost or stolen, you can actually report that to the website.
Oh, really?
From that side, or like if you have a change of address or move, you're able to go in and change that as well.
Right.
Okay. I didn't know that. So that's cool too.
And I think you can even change the information. Like if you sell the vehicle.
Yep. Transfer
transfer.
ownership. Mm-hmm. Yep.
the vehicle
transfer
owner.
to the next new owner or whatever too. Very cool. So anyway, we're here till 3:00 to give away 200 of these kits. And I'm going to have to say by now we're probably at 60 is what I'm going to guess by how many more cars I can roll through.
I would guess so.
So we're here till 3. First 200 are free. Then after that, Josh has got some more kits on order in case you can't get here today, or if for some reason we don't get rid of 200 today, we can still finish those up on Monday or Tuesday, whatever, giving those away. So get here by 3 to get your converter etched up and ready to go and get yourself in the database. So what else? Let's recap real quick. We're here till 3 doing this. We got the truck raffle for the Wichita Police Foundation, and then sounds like next Friday, Officer Kimmery might be out at Kansas International Drag Race racing us.
If it's 100 degrees, I'm a no-show. Sorry. We have to work in this heat, so I don't want to play in the heat too. So
I understand that completely.
Anyway,
You know, the other side of just the amount of gear that you guys have on, weight-wise, approximate weight, what does that add?
about 25, 30 pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's gotten, I'm sure, a lot lighter over the years,
No, they
or
keep
just
adding
because
stuff.
they keep adding stuff.
Keep adding stuff
So we're
to
staying
us.
at that weight.
Yeah, it's like the
and then-
Kevlar gets, lighter, but then they keep adding more gear, so it gets heavier. So
uh-oh. Do we need to go get him?
he's not even going that fast. It's loud.
It's loud. It's just loud. What do they call that again? Excessive acceleration.
Yes.
Yeah, he wasn't going very fast.
So does that have to be a tire spinning situation,
Well,
or
if you're doing like burnouts, yes.
yeah? But if you're not,
Would you give a ticket for a burnout?
Me?
Yeah.
I probably could.
But you don't.
I don't see a whole lot of them because they see me sitting
they
right next
see
to
me
them.
and they don't do that.
Okay, so on Sunday, are you usually out on Sunday?
I don't work on Sundays.
Okay, well, good.
Well, good for you. Yeah.
Because that's my date. I get my hot rod out when I do get it out. So I'm on the west side too. So I say if you see a red GT500 cruising around, don't worry about him. Okay, he's doing nothing wrong, just out for a little cruise. No big deal. Okay, so don't pay attention to him. Anyway, I do have a quick story to tell you about that. Is my son has a couple Mustangs, and he was very jealous when I got my GT500. And the GT500 I have is very rare. And to put a tag on the back of that, you've actually got to drill holes in the bumper.
Oh.
And I just haven't done that. I just cannot put myself to drill holes in my bumper.
He's got sticky tape back there or what?
So, well, right now, I don't get it out very often. I mean, I've had it almost a year and a half and maybe got 900 miles on it, okay? So I had the tag with me, and we went out for a little cruise, and Jake didn't know he was going to get to drive, and I let him drive it. And we come off a 96 highway, and a cop pulled up behind us and saw the tag wasn't on it, pulled us over. And of course, he I got to check, make sure it's not stolen. I said, please do. But I had the tag. But then what really happened is Jake didn't bring his billfold.
Oh, no.
So he didn't have his his driver's license.
Like I said, I didn't think I was going to get to drive. And I said, wait, I get it. But luckily, we were right there at the house. We got it, and everything was fine. And of course, the officer was a little perturbed at first. He thought he could write me for 4 tickets for the tag, and no insurance. Something else he was rattling off. But I still haven't put a tag on it. It's in the car. I just cannot screw my tag to my bumper from that part. So anyway, we're about done here, Josh.
Yep.
Officer Kimmery, anything you want to add, anything at all for what's happening today or anything? Maybe some of your other guys want to get on the air with us or not?
I don't know. I think everybody needs to come at least visit us for a little bit. I got some good looking officers out here with me,
There you go.
directing the traffic
come
out
say
here.
hello.
At least come say hi.
Yeah.
You know,
We've had some visitors already.
And get a sticker while you're at it. So,
Oh, sticker.
well,
Oh, Cadillac Verster. I maybe had some police stickers or something.
No, I mean, we have probably. I mean, if you really want a junior officer sticker, I can probably get you one.
Give me one.
Oh, would you please?
Yeah, please. Okay, so we're here till 3:00 to come get your catalytic converters etched up and get them in the database to help stop these thieves from stealing these high dollar converters. And Josh, what's probably the most expensive converter you've seen stolen?
Probably definitely on the diesel side of things with the DEF systems, you can get into $8,000 very easily with one of those things. On the gas side of things, I'm going to say, I've seen 23, 24, 2,500 bucks.
Yeah.
If you get, because some of them are, there's multiple converters on one portion of the pipe. And so it's just crazy. And then just some of them are very hard to get to, and what you have to do to access
some
them
of those
and
box
to get them
trucks,
out.
some of them have two, don't they?
Yeah, yep,
Even.
yep. Those some vehicles have multiple ones from that side of things too. So
And then the other thing's kind of funny. Sometimes we get cars that have resonators and it's just like a
Yeah,
secondary
yeah.
muffler. They steal them, think they're converters.
Yes, we've seen that too.
we have had that happen, and that's I mean, if there is a win in that scenario for the victim, I guess that's it, is when they steal a $30 resonator compared to an
Right.
$800 or $900 converter. So
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, get out here at 3 o'clock. We're here to etch your converters. It's no charge whatsoever for the first 200 to come through the door. And it takes you about 15, 20 minutes, depending on your situation with your converter and what's underneath the shield and that kind of thing. Officer Kimry, thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate it very much.
Well, thanks for having us.
Glad to have you here. Can't wait to see who wins the truck on the end of September for that big F-350 we're giving away, courtesy of Barron Concrete and Wichita Police Foundation and us are all promoting that thing together. And then next Friday, Kansas International Dragway. Let's go race the cops.
be there.
Be there, right? As Johnny would say, just be there. Hey, everybody, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next Saturday.
Away from retiring, so.
Oh, yeah.